We've all dealt with these before, these infamous pop-ups. And there's nothing wrong with these. I used them for years, and well, all the parts. It's a backdrop. Now, this is a small one for a single headshot, and a lot of times this is great. The material, sometimes it doesn't act well with lighting. The fold up on this one's kind of easy, and I believe to be pretty good at it, but I bought one of the really large ones with the tails, and I didn't get it for me, I got it for my daughter for a backdrop for her stuff, and she didn't like it, because you know how these wrinkle or get those wrinkles in them, and you get to pull the material down along the metal, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I was looking for a solution for myself, because so many times I get to a place and they're like, oh, can we do this group and that group? And I'm like, not really. Or I'll turn the pop-up sideways and then Photoshop the rest of the white in, which is just a time killer. So a friend recommended this to me, and I thought, let's give it a shot. I got the bag to carry the backdrop in, because keeping the backdrop safe, I think, is really important. But I wanted to see, how this was as far as setup and so forth, and how it looks. It seems to be that it would be pretty easy setup in general, but who knows? And my big thing is, if it's a smooth backdrop without too many wrinkles, because, from what I read, that, it has to hang out for it to be good. It has to hang out for a while for the wrinkles to get out. And if you're going to a job, like I always go early, that's not an issue. But going early, and going that early that you have to let it sit for a while for it to hang out, that would be an issue. So I thought, hey, I would try this. It seems like really, really flimsy plastic on the connections, but it may be fine, who knows. And I'm not reading the directions. I just thought, what the hell, I'll just give this a go and see how easy it is to set up. I mean, how hard could it be, right? And like I said, I don't care that it takes a little while to set up. That's not an issue for me. The big thing for me is if it's a smooth backdrop. And space, obviously. So, I'm coming off the wall, probably 4 feet, so there's that. I believe there's 2 long ones, 1 short one, so. Okay. Hopefully this will be fantastic and I'll love it. Now I got an 8 foot, so apparently you're supposed to be able to move these to 8 foot. That I did see. Now, I need portable backdrops quite a bit. So I'm hoping this just works. Especially if you're going to do headshots somewhere for clients and they want it done on site. It would be a good idea to have this. Now, this is supposed to be adjustable as well. on how close this can come in. So that's the bottom leg, and I guess you would, because it is out pretty far, so. I'm really going to move it in closer so it's can go closer to the wall. It's not like somebody's going to run into it in a studio. Okay, so far so good. Like I said, how hard could it be, right? Now, I'm literally opening this up for the first time with you guys, so it's like a sheet material. It's like a sweatshirt material. Which I guess is a good thing. I don't know which side to put forward, the sweatshirt side or the flat side. I'm guessing the sweatshirt side since the tags are on the other side. Again, guessing on all of this as I'm going, so. Okay. Now apparently they have other types of material as well. I mean, obviously the pop-up is quicker, but then with the pop-up you need another light stand or C stand. And I've used okay, so as I was taking it up, it fell off the grommet. Which is probably just the way I'm doing it, so. Well, there you go. I think it's all the way up everywhere. Well, it's not bad. Yeah, it does come off the wall quite a bit. I'm thinking this will photograph well because this is not going to reflect light in any which way, shape, or form. Now, obviously, you can't light it from the back, which would be, really kind of cool if you could. But since you have the stand behind it, you're just going to get the shadows of the stand. It does have, the wrinkles in it, and for somebody that shoots, at 5.6, when they're shooting headshots or something, that may be an issue. But it goes up pretty quick, and it looks good. I have no issues with it, and it didn't take that long. You guys can look at the video to see the timestamp. I don't know how long it took, but yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot in a shoot today and see how it works out. And I'm going to read the directions to see which side is supposed to go forward. I'm thinking the textured side goes forward. I don't know. But anyway, that's it. I just wanted to show you this. It's the Westcott X Drop Pro 8x8 backdrop. And the bag, there's a bag inside in here that came with it, which I don't know why you would have to buy an extra one. Well, it has a handle, so if everything packs up in that case that it came with, versus this, I think you would probably be better off just using the bag it came with instead of spending extra money for the carry bag. But unless you have many backdrops that you get with it, then the carry bag would be good. Okay, so the backdrop has been hanging out for, well, probably 2 hours, and I still have the wrinkles. So if I'm not using backlight, or using a side backlight, this may be an issue. And I want to see what it looks like with this texture. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see that texture. So it's like the other side's flat, and since the tags are on the other side, I'm thinking this is the right side, and the seams are on the other side. So I don't know. I don't know if this is the side they want us to use. But I want to try it because maybe Westcott knows something we don't. And, this texture is good for a backdrop. Maybe it'll look like it's a little blurrier than just a flat backdrop. But I want to see how these wrinkles do. So I'm going to use 2 speed lights for the backdrop. I use this setup a lot. This is just that bounce card, and I'm using it to block it from the subject. And I have 2 of them. So this is going to light my backdrop. Now, these take a little bit of time to adjust, because you have to move them back, move them forward kind of thing for, to get them just right. And adjust the power, obviously, so it doesn't kick back on your model. But they work really well for lighting a backdrop. And you can't get completely full coverage, but you can come pretty close. So I'm just going to use I don't even know what this is. 3-foot octa as the main light, and that's it. That's all I'm going to have is just one main and the 2 backdrop lights. So let's do a quick shoot and see what it looks like. So this is just a really quick shoot. I grabbed someone from the salon again. One of the stylists just coming off the elevator. She still had her coat on. I'm just like, get in here. I got to shoot you really quick to test this. And as you can see, from this view, you still have the wrinkles on the left and right side. And I want to see, how the material does. There are the vertical line wrinkles are still in there. You can barely see them on this shot, but they're there. So I want to see how forgiving the backdrop is. Now for this portrait, I have that main light set up really high. I just wanted to try out some shadowing going down and just crossing it by her. Now you can see on the left side here, straight at a camera, you can see the wrinkles. They're really not as bad as they would be on paper or a flat material, if the flat material had wrinkles in it, because it's kind of like that textured material is kind of diffusing. So what I did is I dropped the lights down just a little bit lower, and I turned them up, from I think it was from 8 to 9 on the Profoto flashes, just to see if I can bury the wrinkles in light without kicking back on her. So, that was my main goal. And from the shots that I saw so far, it does bury wrinkles rather good. The wrinkles are wrinkles. There's nothing you can do about it. And as I'm looking at it today, which is the very next day, putting this together, all the wrinkles that were in there before are still in there now. So having this thing up and hang out, the wrinkles don't hang out. I'm presuming steaming is going to be the only way to get the wrinkles out of this. But anyway, here's a quick shoot of it. Do I like it? Yes, I actually love the system. I think it's a great system. And for shallower depth of field, it's going to be even better. So if you're a shallow depth of field shooter, it's going to be great for you. So speed lights would be perfect for this. But I want to try the different colors they have or the different styles they have just to see what it's like. And remember, the 8x8 will also do the 5x7 size, so that's kind of cool too. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the shoot. If you have any questions, leave them below.